We start tonight with breaking news from the University of Alabama. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks. Philip Coleman joins us in just a moment. University officials say 2 sorority houses are under evacuation orders right now. That's because a construction crew hit a gas line. Those crews are working on a new parking deck behind Barnwell Hall on Bryant Drive. UAPD, Tuscaloosa Fire Rescue, and Alagasco are all out there on the scene. Chi Omega and Pi Beta Phi sorority houses have been evacuated, but WVUA did speak with UAPD. They tell us no immediate danger. These evacuations are simply a precaution. It does make for a big scene out there, but UAPD telling us no immediate danger. We've got crews on the scene. We'll bring you more information as conditions warrant. This Saturday marks 2 years since the deadly April 27, 2011 tornado ripped through the heart of Tuscaloosa. All this week, Alabama's home team is visiting communities along the path of the storm to see how they're recovering. Tonight, WVUA anchor Philip Coleman is live in the Forest Lake neighborhood in Tuscaloosa. Hi, Philip.
Good evening. I'm coming to you live from Forest Lake, the center of the Forest Lake neighborhood. A lot has changed around here during the past 2 years, but before we show you how, let's first take a look back at the day those storms rolled through the city of Tuscaloosa. This is what Forest Lake looked like just moments after the tornado roared through the city. The iconic lake was filled with debris. Homes were demolished. Nearby businesses were hit too. People walked around with whatever little they had left. Now fast forward 2 years later and things look a lot different around here. WVUA's Jennifer Edwards joins us now with more on Forest Lake's recovery.
Thanks, Philip. Earlier today, I spoke with some residents in the Forest Lake neighborhood. Many of them are still getting settled in after rebuilding their homes, but the message from all of them seemed to be the same. They're just glad to be back.
We're excited that several of the neighbors that live on the lake have finally gotten back. Most of us got in just after before Christmas or right after Christmas.
The second year has been more of the rebirth. We have completed our home here on Forest Lake during that year and moved in after 632 nights away from home.
Forest Lake residents say they're glad to see the pace of recovery in the area picking up.
The thing that's most exciting is that when people return, they're able to plant trees, and we are trying to reforest Forest Lake.
You're seeing Hugh's Barbecue. That's big. It's good to see that, that businesses that were in the neighborhood, to see them be able to come back, and Gilda's is rebuilding, if you've noticed, with her spa. So those are all kind of important things as part of the process of getting everybody back.
And although Forest Lake is moving forward, residents say a part of them misses the way things used to be.
The difficult thing is the neighborhood has recovered a great deal, but it's still scarred in places. And so I'm back, and I have a few neighbors who have returned and many who have not. And so we feel a little isolated every once in a while. And like I said, we look out and we don't see the debris anymore, but what I do see are empty lots and a few remnants of basements or front steps or foundations.
There's still quite a few vacant lots, so we're hoping that those homeowners will make the decision to rebuild.
Now, the residents also mentioned how excited they are for the proposed city walk to take shape around the neighborhood. So good things are happening here in the area.
They sure are. Thanks a lot, Jennifer. Let's go back now to the studio with Lynn Brooks.
Thank you, Philip. Well, Forest Lake's neighborhood sits right off 15th Street, a major thoroughfare through Tuscaloosa. Lots of businesses along the street were destroyed April 27th, but several, as you saw in that video, have built back. Some are reopened, like Taco Casa, Express Oil Change, and Schlotsky's Deli. The Emergicare building still looks like it did after the tornado hit 2 years ago, and some areas are still nothing but the original foundations left behind following the tornado. New for you at 6, Central Church of Christ on Tuscaloosa's Hargrove Road is making big strides toward a comeback. The former sanctuary was destroyed on April 27th, but now the walls and the roof are up and bricked. A new parking lot has also been poured, and construction crews are busy working on the inside. A church member told WVUA they're planning to be back in the new building July 14th. University Place Elementary School is making steps toward making a comeback. According to spokesperson Leslie Bruinton, 40% of the school was destroyed April 27th, but construction is expected to be complete in time for school to reopen in the fall. On Wednesday, the Alberta Garden will be dedicated, and on Thursday, the East Precinct of the Tuscaloosa Police Department We'll have an open house, and on Friday, the Alagasco Lighting the Way dedication is scheduled, and we will have all these events for you in our special coverage week. Recently, WVUA had a special opportunity to sit down with Alabama Governor Robert Bentley. I asked him how the tornado shaped his mission as governor, and here's part 2 of that special one-on-one interview. Well, Governor Robert Bentley, we're so glad you were able to sit down and talk with us, and as we look back, as we approach the 2-year mark of the April 27, 2011 storms. This storm, this twister, happened on your 100th day in office. You were just getting into your term as governor, and just talk about what has happened since that time and how that shaped your very first term in office.
You know, as you prepare for natural disasters, and you really can't prepare for them, except you do work with your EMA people, and you try to make some preparation. But the only preparation that we had actually made for natural disasters were just a few meetings before this occurred. And most of the things that we talked about had to do with hurricanes, because when you think of natural disasters in Alabama, you think of the hurricanes that we've had. You don't think of 62 long-track tornadoes that totally devastated all of central and north Alabama. So there's not a lot of preparation that you can make for a very quick, fast-moving system, a natural disaster that occurred. So, you know, you have to, when something like this happens, you know, you just have to rely on your past life experiences in dealing with the situation. It was 100 days, and we were new into our administration. And I think that if we had placed good people in positions to do their job, then things were going to work fine.